before 9. All this week we have been talking with the so-called women we love to hate, the actresses who take on the roles of those nasty, vicious, selfish, manipulative characters on the afternoon soap operas. Today we are going to be talking with Dr. Harvey Greenberg, a psychoanalyst who has some thoughts on why these women attract us so much. Also with one more woman who fits that type, Melody Thomas. She plays Nikki Reed, another nasty, vicious person on The Young and the Restless. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Why don't we start, Melody, by having you explain just a little bit about your character for those who don't follow the soap.
Okay. Nikki is very fun-loving gal who at the moment is stripping, believing that she will be a star, you know, that she's going to get to Vegas and then who knows what. So she's doing that, and right now is being tormented by a secret admirer who's calling and sending gifts, and
she's been through an incredible amount of problems, though, over the years. I would say that she is someone who needs to go see the doctor. What about this character?
Well, I don't see Nikki as a villainess or a bad person. She is more of the kind of person who attracts trouble like a lightning rod. She has a lot of zest, a lot of joy, but she keeps stumbling into these situations, and people get drawn into her problems like a whirlpool, and suddenly everything is very, very messy. She suffers, she gets involved, somehow she survives, leaving a lot of wreckage behind her.
Yes.
Well, Melody, you've said many times you thought she was the victim rather than...
Yes, that's what they said, you know, you're going to be doing this show as a woman you love to hate. And I thought, I'm not mean, I'm not a bad person, really, because everything that happens just kind of happened. It wasn't my fault, you know?
Well, of course, many real-life Nickis have that same feeling. It's not that they're bad people, but somehow people get involved with them, and they provoke all kinds of things without being aware of it.
Why do we need these people? Because, I mean, everybody's watching these soaps. Why is it that we seem to need these characters?
Well, I think they have many of our problems, only raised to the nth degree.
Yeah.
Our suffering, we can turn off the plug on them. We can turn off the TV, and then it's over for us. But somehow there's a kind of awful comfort in knowing that they're always there, going on and on. Also, like a lightning rod, these situations, the soaps show us a lot of common problems around us, things that the media is talking about. Yesterday, somebody on Young and the Restless was trying to find out their adopted sister, I believe. And right now there's a big preoccupation with adoption, and how do you get back to the people that you came from?
Well, do they serve a purpose? I mean, even for letting us kind of, you know, get it out emotionally by
big
watching.
Catharsis. There are Hamlet.
You think it's a healthy thing, then?
Sure. I think it's kind of cheap therapy for a lot of people.
It's great therapy for us.
But do you ever worry, though, that what you're doing on the show might, you know, allow somebody at home to be sitting thinking, gee, you know, I can do that too, that they might start actually to live out their own fantasies instead of just watching it?
Well, I don't think so. Not with my character. I don't think they would be
think that's a problem?
It could be. You're the expert.
I think people look at Nikki and say, "My God, I can't be that bad. I'll never get involved in that. My problems are just a pale shadow of her." Yeah, they can objectify themselves. I don't think people are spurred to act out any more than watching Hamlet.
No.
You know.
Do you think that the soaps have a particular interest to women who might feel that they are themselves trapped, maybe in their own little soap opera?
For sure. I think that we would like to think that women are liberated today, but many women, many people in general, find themselves stuck and unable to get out. And there's a kind of, I think, identification with somebody who is always stuck. Somehow I think you can get free of your own problems for a minute or two and say, well, gee, I may be stuck, but I'm not glued down.
They're more worse off than I am.
And on the other side of that, she's a wonderful survivor. She goes on. She goes on from cold membership. Yeah, that I can somehow get through with it. I can get to the other side of it. And she's got a lot of juice.
Cult and murders and attempted rape by my father, who I hit over the head with a lamp, and he died. But it was self-defense.
See, now
you see? I mean, I did not maliciously try and kill my father.
What kind of mail do you get? I mean, I wonder if you actually see what we're talking about and what people say to you.
I get wonderful mail. I've never gotten any hate mail or anything. A lot of people, it's hard because it's on a soap. it's hard for people to separate Melody, Nikki. If I'm on the street, it's Nikki. And people will write in, you know, different organizations, we can help you, you know, they send me pamphlets and
They
things.
forget that
Oh
it's
yeah,
not a real
well they
person.
start out the letter. Now we realize that you are not Nikki, that you're just an actress playing her, but I think we could be very beneficial to you. So.
What's it like for you to be involved day after day after day after day?
It at times becomes very real. There was a period a couple years ago where Nikki and Greg were going through some very bad times, and that was my husband at the time on the show. And it was so traumatic day after day for weeks. It was in the process of breaking up our marriage and crying and agony, and we started taking that home. We would both go home and have nightmares. We'd be dreaming, screaming, and we'd wake up and say, oh God, Greg, Nikki.
Oh boy, you have to call up the doctor.
She never learns. She never learns. It's like somebody said about the Bourbon Kings. They remembered everything and they learned nothing.
Well, it sounds to me like you think of something that's really healthy besides just being an enjoyable story to watch. So thank you both for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.